Hello. Joining me today is Qian, Joint Portfolio Manager of the Baillie Gifford Positive Change Fund. Lee, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Carl. Great to be here today.
There are four themes that the fund uses to find high quality growth companies that are making the world a better place. Could you briefly run through each of those and provide a stock example for each?
Yes, very happy to. So there are four impact themes in positive change. The first one is social inclusion and education. So here we are looking for companies that are creating a fairer and more equal and prosperous world and make sure the benefit of economic growth and development is shared broadly amongst different parts of society. One example of that is Mercado Libre, which is a Latin American e-commerce platform and financial services provider. Mercado Libre has the largest e-commerce platform in Latin America that is helping millions of merchants, a lot of them small businesses, to access customers in a much more efficient way than before. The second theme that we have is environment and resource needs. And here we are looking for companies that are improving access to basic resources like food and water, and also at the same time thinking about the obvious environmental challenges we face as a society, including climate change and air pollution. A good example of a company in this category is Xylem. So Xylem is a water company. It provides pumps, filters, and treatment solutions to modern water infrastructure across the world, and that's used in developed countries like the US and emerging markets like India and China. The astonishing fact is that even today, there are around 700 million people that don't have access to safe and clean drinking water, a basic necessity for life. And Xylem, its product, helps to bring more clean and safe drinking water and clean sanitation to more and more people. The third impact theme we have is healthcare and quality of life. And here, an exciting company is Dexcom. So Dexcom provides continuous glucose monitoring devices that helps people living with diabetes to better manage their condition. So previously, someone who has diabetes often have to use finger prick and test to draw blood and see what is their blood sugar level and whether they need to change anything to manage their blood sugar level. But with Dexcom, it has a small patch that you attach to your skin, and all the sensor helps to collect the data around your blood sugar level in real time, sent to your mobile phone, and you can see in real time what is your blood sugar level, and also importantly, the direction of travel for your blood sugar level. And then our final impact theme is base of the pyramid, where we are looking for companies that are addressing the needs of people living on low income across the world. So the astonishing fact here is roughly half of the world's population live on less than $3,000 per year of income. So that is less than $10 per day of income. We're looking for companies that are helping to address both the basic and aspirational needs of those people on low income. And a great example is Safaricom, which is Kenya's biggest telecom operator, but also is the leading provider of mobile money in the country.
Tesla is the fund's top holding. Does Tesla's recent Bitcoin purchase weaken its environmental, social, and governance credentials?
So we invest in Tesla because we think it's one of the most exciting businesses that is helping to transition our energy and transportation system onto a more sustainable way. So the role that Tesla has played and is still playing in terms of making electric vehicles more affordable, more accessible, and more mainstream, that has a huge positive impact on the environment. And indeed, the role it plays within energy, both from solar generation and also battery storage for the grid, that is really important to move the energy system onto a more sustainable pathway. Now, Bitcoin has attracted some criticism, and there are a lot of news headlines that have jumped on this as a way to criticize Tesla. One of the criticism is that Bitcoin mining is energy intensive. It takes up a lot of electricity to do it. And that is indeed the case. But in our view, energy consumption is not necessarily a bad thing. If you look at the history of human development, we have been using more and more energy, and indeed having more energy and using more energy is the basis that we can improve our standard of living, or of the comfort that we have in our life that we take for granted, from lighting in our home to heating for our flats, and all the conveniences. That's only possible because we have access to a lot of energy. Now, what is obviously negative about that is the environmental impact of our energy usage, which comes from the burning of fossil fuel. So burning fossil fuel, coal, oil, natural gas, that releases huge amount of CO2, which causes global warming. That is the fundamental problem. The energy source we use, that we need to change, not necessarily energy consumption. So we need to remove fossil fuel from our energy supply, use solar, wind, renewable sources, and that's exactly what Tesla is doing. So Tesla is taking a system approach, trying to transition our energy system to more sustainable, and allow us to use more and more energy without having the negative impact that it has on the environment. So we don't think that Bitcoin in itself is hugely negative for Tesla's environmental credential, because the role it plays at transitioning our energy system to a more sustainable pathway. That is the fundamental solution which is needed.
Alphabet is also in the top 10 holdings, which is arguably a controversial holding for a fund with an ethical focus. So what are the positive credentials of Alphabet, and do they outweigh its negative business practices?
Yes, absolutely right. Alphabet is, I think, the most controversial business in our portfolio from that kind of positive change perspective. So the benefit that Alphabet provides is it's helping billions of people having timely access to information, whether that is through search or YouTube, or even the Android operating system that powers billions of smartphones, including the ones that are used in Latin America for merchants to sell on Mercado Libre, and being used in Kenya for people to access mobile services. And those, a lot of them are built on Alphabet's Android operating system. So Alphabet plays a very, very important role in allowing people to have access to information, being online, access to data. And that has a hugely positive and equalizing force on society. So, allowing people to have timely access to information rather than spending hours to find information historically and using other sources that have a lot of positive impact. So we think that is very strong, and that is core to Alphabet's business. There are some negative concerns around potentially anti-competitive practices, whether they need to be paying more tax. We acknowledge those are indeed issues, and they are more on the business practice side rather than the product impact side. But they are issues that we have to weigh up. But overall, our test is trying to think, if the if Alphabet doesn't exist, is the world a better or worse place? And I think for a lot of us, the benefit of having access to Google search that makes our life so much easier. Farmers in Kenya having access to online and mobile technology so they can check the weather pattern and know what plants to crop and able to access financial services. We think all of that benefits outweighs the negative impact, and that's why we think it still deserves a position in our portfolio.
Lee, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Kyle, as well. It's been very nice chatting to you.